This is week two of this new series, Choices, and I'm looking forward to talking to you about this topic because I think it's something I wish I knew more about when I was your age in high school. In high school, 8 years ago, I was in grade 10, and I can't believe it's been that long since I was in grade 10, but in grade 10, it was a huge year for me. There's so many changes and so many things that happened that kind of formed who I am and started the process of who I am today. And like being able to shave and knowing that I'm a man and my voice is going deeper and stuff like that. But there was a couple of things where I had to make choices. I had to make a choice, and these choices that I had to make affected the rest of my high school life, and probably affected who I am today. And one of those choices was around friendships. I was in this program at Mansfield State High called French Immersion, and in French Immersion I did four subjects all in French. Obviously there was French, there was maths, there was science, and there was so geography and history, but all in French. So all my assignments had to be in French, we had to speak in French, we learnt in French. It was not enjoyable at some points, for sure, but I was in French immersion. That meant for grade 8 to 10, I was with kind of the same people in the same class for quite a while. And so I really got to know who they were. Especially the boys. The boys I would hang out with at lunch and on the weekends. We'd play cool and hip things like Guitar Hero and FIFA 10. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. These guys were super supportive. They always helped me out with French. I was the dumb kid in the class. I never did my homework or anything like that. But they were awesome. I loved hanging out with them. But about 3/4 through grade 10, I had this guy in my manual arts class approach me and say, hey Jason, I'm just wondering if you want to chill with us at lunch. You want to come join us? And I knew a couple of the guys in the group, but I didn't really know them completely. And at first I was like, nah, I've been with the same group of guys for 3 years now, almost 3 years. I don't want to dog them. I enjoy hanging out with them. But then after a couple minutes, I realized, hold on. This guy that's offered me, their group is a semi-cool group. So not like a super lame group and not a super cool group, but like somewhere in the middle. And I was like, man, this is my stepping chance to go up into the cool ladder and be one of the cool kids. And for a shy, reserved guy like me in high school, I was like, oh, this is a no-brainer. I need to take this opportunity. I need to say yes to this and hang out with these guys. So straight away I said yes. Next day I was hanging out with them at lunch. I said laters to the other guys, and they were pretty sour about it, but eventually they forgave me because I was in a couple of their classes. But yes, weeks went by and I was hanging out with this new group, this semi-cool group, and they were awesome. They were a lot of fun. I laughed every lunch break. Their conversations were hilarious. Well, I thought they were hilarious at that time, and yeah, we did a lot of stupid, fun things at lunch, and it was good, really good. But as weeks went by, I really got to know who they were. And I realized that these guys, as I stepped back and looked at the whole group, these guys, all they spoke about, all they talked about, and the way they acted was around video games, cars, alcohol, drugs, porn, girls. That's all they spoke about every lunch break. And as I spent time with them, I actually slowly started to become more like them. I started to talk like them. I started to act like them. I started to think like them. But did that mean this group that I sat with, this table of boys that I sat with, was it the wrong choice to choose them? Was it the wrong choice to choose them, to move to that group and not stay with that group, that table? Did I make a bad choice? And this is something we're going to explore today because friendships are a crucial part of our life. It's a choice that we're forever making. We're making constantly who we want to be friends with and who we don't want to be friends with. What type of people do we want to be around? What type of friends do we actually want to be to others? These are all decisions that we face all through our life continually. It's always changing, and sometimes they can be incredibly difficult. And as Ben said last week, the Bible doesn't actually give us these 10 commandments on this is friendships. It doesn't give us 10 commandments on friendships. It doesn't say in the Bible that, Jason, you're going to be friends with Joel and Sammy. You're not going to be friends with, it doesn't say that you're going to be friends with those two people. It's not that clear. Like, I think Joel is an absolute legend. I wish that the Bible actually said that, actually gave that truth. Sammy, you're okay, but you make the cut, but Joel is better than you, just a heads up. But I wish the Bible said that, and I wish it was the same for you guys. I wish the Bible said, blah, 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 I was going to be friends with blah, blah, blah. I wish that was the case. And when I talk about friends in this message, I don't mean just your average Joes. I don't mean your acquaintances, those who you just talk every now and then. I mean the closest ones to you, the ones that you live, laugh, and work with. Those are the ones I'm referring to. But I can guarantee no matter how good we are, you guys are out making friends, we all wish that making friends was a little easier. There was a little bit more direction. Who wishes that was the case? Who wishes it was a little bit easier? Yeah, there's quite a few of us. I know I wish that it was the case because I'm not very good at it. And surely our loving God, all-knowing God gave us a little bit of direction in that. Surely He told us in His Word that there's things that we should look for when looking for friends. And I believe He does exactly that. Through this Bible, through the Word, I believe He gives us the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom to make wise decisions around friendships, to look for the right people. So this morning, week 2 of the Choices series, we're going to look at friendships. And I'm going to look at a couple of verses in the Bible that I've picked out, and also kind of explore this dilemma I had with these 2 friendship groups. And so as I was studying for this, as I know I said there's no 10 commands, but as I was studying for this, I was kind of, where do I look? Where do I look for these verses? And I was like, I came across Proverbs. And the book of Proverbs, if you don't know, is probably the best one for this situation because it's written by a whole bunch of people who were some of the wisest guys that have lived. And including Solomon, someone like Solomon. And if you don't know who Solomon is, he is a super, super wise guy. And his journey is super interesting. So if you don't know about him, make sure you read about that. Do a Google search and find out more. But yeah, I looked at Proverbs and I found 4 verses. 4 verses, that's all we're going to look at. There's more than that, but I've picked 4. And we're going to kick it off with verse 1, Proverbs 13, verse 20. Proverbs verse 13, verse 20 says, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." Here in this verse, I believe it highlights the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who impact us positively. On our Friday night, Tersha touched on this, and that when we're faithful to people, when we continually spend time with them and connect with them and live life with them, our character slowly shapes into a very similar character to them, and vice versa. They rub off on each other. We rub off on each other as we spend time with each other, and we might make the same jokes or the same comments because that's how we work. So. Then that's what Proverbs 13 verses 20 is hinting at, is that when we surround ourselves with wise people who make wise decisions, we slowly become wise and make wise decisions as well. But I don't know about you guys, but when I read that verse, I kind of like, I don't know about that. I don't know whether I want to actually spend time with just wise people. I don't want to hang out with boring people who make the right decisions all the time. I like to have a bit of fun. I like to hang out with fools like Ben and just do some silly things every now and then. But as I looked at it and read it over and over again and thought about it and prayed about it, I was like, actually, it doesn't say anywhere that you can't have fun. It doesn't say anywhere that you won't have fun or maybe do some silly things and make some unwise decisions like ride a boogie board down a flight of stairs or wear a pair of heels that just kill your feet because hashtag beauty is pain. But it doesn't say that anywhere in that. What I believe God is saying through the word in Proverbs is that we need to surround ourselves with people who impact us positively in the areas of our life that really matter. So like your faith journey, your studies, your relationships, your friendships. Surround ourselves with people who impact those areas positively because that's going to impact the rest of your life. And as I look back on my decision to join this semi-cool group over here, this semi-cool group, I read that verse, I know that I actually wasn't walking with the wise. I wasn't walking with the wise in this group. I was actually a companion of fools. These guys, as much as I had fun with them and they were hilarious, and deep down they're good guys, I made some unwise decisions in my life around alcohol and porn because of these guys. They impacted me in a negative way, and that's because I was a companion of fools. So I did not find people who impacted me positively at that table. And that's what we can learn from this verse. We can learn from this verse, a true friend is one who impacts us positively. A true friend is one who impacts us positively. And I did not find that at this table. I did not find guys who impact us positively at that table with this semi-cool group. Verse 2, Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17 says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity." A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. Now, the word adversity pretty much means times of trouble, times where things just don't go right. And what it's saying is a brother or a sister is someone who's there in those times of trouble. Because they're family, they're always going to be there when things don't go right. They will be there, they'll support you, they'll have your back. But a friend is someone who loves you out of choice. Not because they're family, not because they have any already connection with you. They choose to love you. They choose to love you in the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's what this is trying to emphasize, is that family will be there for you. Family should be there for you. But friends will choose to be there for you. They'll choose to love you. Sometimes we have these people in our lives that we call friends, and I know I've had many of these people, but we have these people called friends, and we're in these moments where we're highly emotional, or we're super angry, or we just make a mistake. We hurt someone. We make a mistake, and then all of a sudden these friends start to act differently towards you. They treat you differently. They don't talk to you. And you realize maybe these guys actually aren't true friends. Maybe they're not actually my friends. Maybe they don't actually love me the way I think they love me. And I wonder if you guys have had friends like that as well. They don't. See, the thing is, a true friend is one who won't leave your side no matter what you have gone through or what you are going through or how you feel. They love you at all times. In grade 10, back to grade 10 when all things just happened, I was dating this girl called Shani. And she was the love of my life. I was going to marry her. We're going to have kids. We're going to just explore the world. It was the best thing ever. And just like all high school relationships, I found my soulmate, and we're going to live the rest of our lives together. It was wonderful. And she was really cool. And then, but one day she came to me. Well, she didn't come to me. She came to school, and she was like in tears. She was bawling her eyes out, and she didn't want to talk to me. I was like, oh no, I know. I don't know what I've done wrong. What have I done wrong? Where did I screw up this time? Oh my gosh. And I started to freak out. And then I just kept trying to talk to her. Eventually I was able to, and she spilled the news on me that she actually, don't laugh at me, please. Don't laugh at me, please, Sammy. Respect. respect over there. She actually, she spilled the news on me that she cheated on me. I'm like, boo, yeah. So I wasn't a happy chappy. I was absolute mess. The relationship ended, and I was just in tears. I was crying so much. I was like a little girl. I was probably crying more than a 5-year-old girl would cry when she loses her goldfish bubbles. Like, it's just, like, I could have probably filled a pool with my tears. That's how much I was crying. And how does this have anything to do with that Bible verse? Well, that semi-cool group over there, at lunch break, I go to them and I'm just like still in tears, and they're just like, "Are you okay, man? Is everything all good?" Blah, blah, blah. But that only lasted about 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, they were just like, "You're a sook, man. Harden up. Like, get over it. You're only dating her for 3 months, and it's fine. You'll get over it." And they also said all these harsh things that I'm not going to say up here on stage because they're inappropriate. And then they said all these harsh things about her as well, which I'm like, man, that's not cool. That's not nice. In that moment when I needed them to love me, they didn't love me. They weren't true friends. See, what we can learn from this verse is that a true friend is one who loves unconditionally. A true friend is one who loves unconditionally. And I did not find this at this table. At this semi-cool group, they did not love me unconditionally, especially in the moments when I needed it. Verse number 3, Proverbs 18, verses 24. We're almost there, guys. One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Again, it's using that analogy of the brothers and the sisters, the siblings, and how those guys, those family members will be there for you. They'll be there for you because you're your family. But then a friend chooses to be there for you. It's a choice again. And it makes it so much more powerful. But then if you have friends that are unreliable, without a doubt, you're going to be let down. You're going to be hurt. And a true friend is someone who will be there for you. They'll show you loyalty. They'll show you commitment in times of trouble, even when things aren't easy. They're people you can rely on. And maybe some of you guys have had people who have turned their back on you in those hard times, and you realize, actually, these guys aren't my true friends. These guys weren't there for me when I needed them. And that's what we can learn from this verse, a verse that I believe says, a true friend is one who supports continually. A true friend is someone who supports you continually. See, in that moment when I broke up with Shani and all these other moments in high school, there was a couple guys. They're the ones that were like, "Hey man, you're all good," in this group. They checked on me. But the majority of the group did not support me continually. I did not find that continual support in this group. At that table, I did not find it. I did not find it at that group, at that table. Verse number 4, lucky last. Proverbs 27:17 says, 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Now, this is one of my favorite Bible verses in the whole Bible. It's, I think, one of the coolest analogies, and it's talking about how iron sharpens iron. For iron to sharpen iron, you have an iron tool or iron sword, and you use this thing called a whetting iron. And you hit them together, you rub them together at certain speeds, angles, and forces till you get the right sharpness, the right shape, and you get the ideal tool or sword. And you just do that over and over again. And when you do that, sometimes sparks happen, sometimes it heats up a little bit. And that's exactly what friends are for, true friends are for. True friends are those who will challenge you, who will push you, who will grind your gears at times. They'll just annoy you at times, but in a positive way. Sometimes sparks will fly, sometimes it'll get a little bit heated between you, but a true friend is someone who's going to challenge you and form you into a better human being, a better person. A true friend is going to challenge you to be a better person. And that's what I believe that Bible verse is saying, is that as we support each other and challenge each other, we'll form into a better tool for God. Better tool for serving others and being a positive influence. For example, you can have a wise person over here, a wise friend, and then there's a friend, their friend is over there, and they're making foolish decisions. They're making some unwise decisions. And this guy's over here is like, hey man, I'm going to challenge you in this in a loving and supporting way. I think you're doing the wrong thing. But it's out of love. And because that guy knows that I care for him, and I'm doing it out of love, and I want him to be the best person he can possibly be, he will listen. And that's what friends are for. What we can learn from this Bible verse is a true friend is one who challenges frequently. A true friend is one who challenges frequently. As I read this verse and reflect on this group that I was part of, I was a companion of fools. Not once did they challenge me to be a better person. Not once. I just continued to make unwise decisions, especially around alcohol and porn, and not one of them challenged me to be a better person. And I did not find that frequent challenge from that table. I did not find it there. See, through these 4 verses, I believe we can know confidently that I probably chose the wrong group. Probably chose the wrong group to choose to be my core group, my true friends, because they weren't true friends. They didn't show me. These 4 things. I shouldn't have called them my true friends, because true friends are people who impact positively, they love unconditionally, support continually, and challenge frequently. As you look at your life and go about your life and making choices around friendships, I want you to have a look. I want you to have a look at these 4 things. I want you to think about who is sitting at your table. Who is sitting in your friendship group? Who's those true friends that you have? Are they showing these 4 things? Are they loving you unconditionally? Are they impacting you positively? Are they supporting you continually? Are they challenging you frequently? And are you doing the same back to them? Are you being a true friend to them? Are you being the best friend that you can be? Now imagine if all of us looked for people like this and had all these type of people around us. Imagine how much better our lives would be, and that we would have people loving us and supporting us and challenging us, and we'd all be achieving the best we can because we have those people around us. Yes, we'll hit challenges in the road. Yes, we will make mistakes still and things aren't perfect. But I believe it's possible to find these people in our lives. I believe it's possible to find each and every one of them in people. So I just want to read one more verse. I know I said there's 4 verses, but one more. In Proverbs chapter 12, verses 26, it says, "The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray." The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. They choose their friends carefully. It's something that takes time. It's not something we rush into. You don't have to be worried about how quickly you find these people. Just carefully do it. Carefully look at who they are, who you're surrounding you with, who's at your table. Now, my 2 questions for you as we leave this Sunday and go into a new week. I want you to think about who is sitting at your table. Who is sitting at your table, and then whose table are you sitting at? Who is sitting at your table, and whose table are you sitting at? Cool. So what I'm going to allow time now is time to reflect and pray about that. Just think about who's at your table and whose table you're at. We're going to have some music playing. I want you guys to just sit there quietly in your own space. You can move if you want. And we're going to spend a couple minutes, that's all, a couple minutes just really praying and thinking about thinking about who your true friends are. And we're going to have leaders on the side as well if you want prayer as well. But just a couple minutes, spend some time reflecting on that. Yeah. Dear God, I want to thank you for being the perfect friend. I want to thank you that you do impact us positively. You love us unconditionally. You support us and you challenge us. And thank you that you also think it's so important that we are surrounded by those who do the same to us and that we do the same to others. God, I just want to pray for those here in this room that may struggle with friends, struggle to make friends, struggle with their current friendship group. I just ask that you will guide them, that they will feel your love for them even when they don't feel loved. They will know that they are supported. And God, I just also want to pray in general that these guys will look at their friendship group. They will look at their friendship group and they'll look at who's sitting at their table and they will really think about, hey, this person does love me. This person does challenge me. I ask that you will encourage them in the friends that they have chosen and also, challenge them in the friends that they will choose. Continue to love all of these guys. Bless them for the work that they do for you. Thank you again for being the perfect friend. And thank you for caring for us and wanting to surround us with those friends who will love us, support us, challenge us, and impact us positively. I pray all this in your name. Amen.